It's coming in from the outside of the Midwest. I also just wanted to really show off my new gloves. They're so fancy. But anyway, it's like 40 below outside. And if you are in here, you know the drill. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and fast forward by just 1 minute. Today we are going to be talking about men and emotional safety. And what does that mean? Why is it a man's job to create safety? Especially for women, because I'm getting a lot of backlash in the post that I just did. So, hey guys, how's it going? I'm full on winter gear. It is so cold right now. Let me know how your Sunday's going. Talking about men and emotional safety today. Let me get a drink of water. Thanks. You know what? Actually, this is not a hat. It's actually like the fur thing from a jacket that I like clipped. But the back of my head is none of my business. So anyway. Okay, guys. So we're here today. We're going to talk about men and emotional safety, why it's important for men to provide a safe space for women. I'm going to go ahead and do my talk. Any questions that you have, put them in the comment section below as I go through the topic, and then we will discuss at the end, okay? So in the last post I just made, I talked about how the divine feminine melts the ice to a man's heart. She creates the warmth, the nurturing, the ability for him to get in touch with his emotions and expand into his vulnerability more than he ever has before. And I got a lot of backlash on this because a lot of men are saying that it's his job to understand his emotions, not rely on anybody else, because it creates a codependent dynamic. Scrolling down to slide 9 or 10 of that carousel, I do address this part of the topic because while we don't want to rely on others to heal our trauma and heal our wounds, we still have to acknowledge that men and women have biological differences, that the masculine and feminine energy are two sides of the same coin. They're the yin and they're yang, but they are not the same. So as much as a man can address and understand his own feelings and that is his responsibility, he cannot open the vortex of his emotions like a woman can. Because the divine feminine is emotion. It is fluidity. It is that internal intuitive understanding. So when she is presenting this space for him to dive deep into himself, he experiences emotions in a way that he could not just by himself. Just as men provide a safe space for women to unveil that divine feminine in places where they might not be able to and where they cannot themselves. So you see, masculine and feminine energy are the yin and yang of each other. We cannot solve all of our issues or unlock all the facets of ourselves just by ourselves, even if we have little pieces of the other person in us. Does that make sense? Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense, okay? I want to see in the comments if that is aligning and resonating with people. Now, the other thing that people had a problem with was the slide where I said, a man who so desperately seeks control is not in alignment with his true masculine. And I got a lot of backlash for that, saying men who aren't in control are not men. But there's a very big difference between being in control of yourself and understanding your stoicism, your emotions, how you're going to respond in a situation, and then needing to control the outside environment, needing to control other people. That actually puts you in a place of very low self-esteem because you are leaving your own self-regulation up to the outside world, which means you're trying so hard to control everyone else and their experience and the world around you because you don't feel okay. A man divinely in his masculine feels okay and takes his strength and imposes that on the world, not takes what the world imposes on him and becomes that. Okay, so as an example, it's, are you trying so desperately to fix your girlfriend's problems and her emotions because you can't handle her feeling bad? A lot of men will do this. They think, oh, I just want to help her. I hate seeing her down in the dumps. But if you're constantly trying to solve her problems for her, she doesn't need you to solve her problems. You have to have faith that your partner is capable, just like she has to have faith that you are capable. How many men in here are so sick of their female partners treating them like little boys? Like they can't put the dishes in the dishwasher right. Like they don't know how to fix something. Like they can't pick up their own clothes. I'm sure you hate feeling like you're incapable. And that's exactly what you're doing to your female partner when you try to solve everything for her. As partners, we have to create the space where our partner knows that we believe in them. And we also have to hold space for the fact that it's okay for them to feel bad. It's okay for them to have these emotions. You as a man do not need to be in control of everything. You just need to be in control of yourself. And that's how the environment around you is very peaceful. And that is exactly what the last line is saying, is when a man creates this safety, when he becomes a safe space, that is who she is most attracted to. And then the last point that I'm going to point out here is a lot of men are saying, a lot of men are saying, well, why do I need to be a safe space first? Why is it the man who always has to create safety before the woman? You know, isn't that just another way of like trying to earn the love, etc.? And the example that I gave in the comment section was, it is always the man's job to create a safe space. And first, because you're thinking about a lion and a lamb. Men are biologically driven to hunt and kill and protect. They are biologically the stronger species. So it is your job to become a safe space physically, mentally, emotionally, because even if a lion and a lamb grew up in the zoo, the lion is still the lion and the lamb is still the lamb. So you cannot say to the lion, it's like a lion asking, well, I've never heard him before, so like, why should he be afraid of me? Because you're a lion. That's why he's intimidated. So it is your job, if you want to interact with the feminine, which is soft in nature and very innocent, even if it doesn't pretend to be that safe space. Because or else when you have a lion and a lamb in the same place and the lamb feels threatened, the lamb is going to try to be a lion. And the lamb is never a lion. So when the lamb pisses the lion off, what happens? The lion can destroy the lamb instantly. And that is what the divine feminine is afraid of. The divine feminine fears the masculine when it is not safe. Okay? So that is why it's so important for you to become a safe space for yourself and for the people around you. Not because you're trying to be a simp, not because you're a pussy, not because men have to go first, but because you are such a symbol, an emblem of strength and power, that it is intimidating for people to be around your presence if they do not perceive it as in control. So your lesson here is to get in control of yourself and yourself only. And it is this control, this presence, that allows the feminine to melt the ice of the man. Okay? When the lamb is just being the lamb and jumping around and playing and being very sweet and very cute and very innocent, the lion has no choice but to, surrender to that. The males do surrender to women because the innocence. You cannot hurt something so innocent. But when a female doesn't feel safe, when the lamb doesn't feel safe, they stop acting like a lamb and they start acting like a meal that you want to destroy, right? So that's kind of the summary. So it's all of my posts, they're never about men and how they should impress women because that's how it should be. It's all about how a man can seek to understand his identity more, his trauma more, his own thoughts, intuition more. And I use relationships as an example because that's what so many men struggle with. That is the dynamic that brings out our trauma the most, because it is a pure reflection of the things we have not healed. A lot of people right now are saying, yo, kings, just stay single. We don't need to worry about women. It's so much easier. Of course it's easier because nobody is challenging you. Nobody is forcing you to look at yourself. And as much as we hate to admit it, even the toxic relationships that we get in are teaching us something. Because healthy people do not get in toxic relationships. So it takes two to tango. If you are in an unhealthy, toxic dynamic, some part of you was seeking something in this that fulfilled you. Okay? And in order to heal that, we don't just blame the other person. We take responsibility and we say, what part of me was desiring this co-creation? What part of me was being fulfilled in this? What part of me sook this out so I could learn something? And then you can actually learn something and move on instead of wallowing in the self-pity and the all women are horrible and women don't respect men. Like, we need to get over that hump. That's not masculine at all. Masculinity is saying, wow, there are some people out here who are disrespectful, but I don't got to worry about them because I respect myself so much that when I walk in the room, I am that guy. When I walk in the room, I am that guy. And someone just asked me another question. Why is it that the man is responsible to understand the mindset of the woman? Why doesn't the woman just communicate properly so we don't have to guess? That's a victim mentality right there. No one said that the man is responsible to understand the mindset of a woman. If somebody is telling you have to understand the mindset of a woman, you don't have to listen to them. What we're trying to get here is you to understand your own mindset and your own capacity and awareness of how you're impressing the environment around you. That's not understanding the mindset of a woman. That's understanding how you show up in society. And yeah, being a little empathic toward the people around you. What do you lose by being empathic towards understanding someone? You don't lose anything. You gain power. Don't default yourself to thinking that because you understand someone more, now you're weaker. Don't worry about what other people have to do for their work. You want to do what's best for you. You want to be the most powerful that you can be. Don't worry about the people who are not doing the work. You don't want to be around them. You want to be around people who are conscious and cognizant and empathic. And the more empathic you get, the more you get around empathic people. Right? As long as you know boundaries. But I don't want anybody in here saying, like, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to do that? We're not attaching ourselves to that victim mentality. I want you to be strong in the fact that everything that you're doing has a purpose. Everything that you're doing has a purpose to make you grow into who you're supposed to be. And if it doesn't align with you, don't do it. But if you're here, that's teaching you something. If you feel resistance, that mentality says to me that you were forced to do things and take care of people that were not your responsibility. And that has been a theme throughout your whole life. So now you're translating that into relationships and being very resentful of all women. When I'm guessing it was more a parent relationship that pressured you to be something like they didn't honor your needs and wishes. And we need to heal that. We need to heal that mother wound. We need to heal that father wound. And that's also something that we talked about in the men's group today in the Better Man membership with Monica Yates. She guided us through an inner child meditation where we met our father, we met our mother. And if you join the Better Man membership, you click the link in my bio, join the Better Man membership, you can see that replay. And you can go through that meditation and feel those feelings that you had as a child and address those wounds and start forgiving your parents and stop blaming everybody in your life now for things that you suffered before. Because you keep yourself trapped in this prison where you suffer. And nobody in here needs to suffer. Nobody in here deserves to suffer. Okay, reading some of the comments. Better for the man. Marry someone like you with all this knowledge and you solve everything. And also, that's not true either. Let me tell you something. I get a lot of messages saying, oh, the man who marries you is going to be so lucky. You must have the most amazing relationship. I have flaws too. And one of my biggest flaws that I just discovered recently is because I know so much, I feel immense pressure to heal the people around me if they're close to me. I think, oh, well, I know all the tools. I should be able to solve this. And that's also a trap you can get into from learning and learning and learning is like you think that you can, because you have all the tools, you can make anything work. But it's not like that. And as you continue to learn more about yourself, you need to release yourself from the pressure to solve everybody's problems. Do not rob someone of their rock bottom. Allow people to figure things out. Have faith that people are capable of having their own journey. You can only do what you can do for yourself and offer the wisdom that is non-judgmental. And it's up to other people to make their own choices and make their own decisions. All you can do is support them along the way. We are emotionally intelligent, but we shouldn't have to guess. This is a partnership and you need to be open and honest and not make people guess why you're upset. Of course. I mean, everybody should work as best as they can as being emotionally available and honest in their relationship. Some people find it harder than others. But yeah, if you're with a partner who's like really emotionally unavailable and not giving you what you want, then you might not be in the right relationship. Just reading some of the comments here, guys. Being over 50, from my experience, most people are hurt and damaged. Of course they are. And many people do not take the time to work on those things. And that's why it's also so crazy to me when the whole dating thing now is like, oh, I want someone without baggage. You will never get someone without at least a little baggage. And you don't want someone without any baggage, because then they're probably so emotionally unaware, so unempathetic, because they can't understand hardship. They don't understand what it's like to overcome something. They don't have perseverance. Those are probably the people who get divorced because they're like, whatever, I don't want any problems. I don't want nothing, right? So it's useless to look for someone without baggage. Look for someone who has gone through something and has done the work to confront it, because those are the people who are going to be the most honest about their flaws, the most forward in communication, the most peaceful during conflict resolution. Those are going to be the people that you want. Okay? I want to say this respectfully. Does having a female be a men's coach where a woman had a limited lens of what it's like to be a male, a way of demasculating? I mean, listen, I'm not teaching men how to be men. I'm teaching men how to be more self-aware, conscious, and heal their trauma. And so there are many men's coaches for women who are helping them understand also the masculine perspective. And I think that's the perspective, and that's why a lot of men like to watch the content that I provide, because I give a female perspective on it while also being able to understand where the man is coming from. So everybody has their happy medium, what they like and what they don't like. So if you resonate, you resonate. If you don't, you don't. I can't fix that. I literally look like I'm in Russia right now with this outfit, but I love it. So if I could just wear this as like an accessory, I totally would. I dig it. Okay, guys, so that is the end of what I had to say, but anybody here who wants has a men's mental health question, go ahead and ask it below. I'll stand for just a few more minutes so that I can answer those for you. What if when there's a conflict, they just go silent? Well, when we go into conflict, we usually go into something called fight or flight. And fight or flight isn't just fighting and running away. There's also, it's fight, flight, fawn, or something else. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of a lapse right now. But fighting is obviously where your instinct is to get aggressive and want to fight someone. Flighting is where you run away. You become avoidant, you shut down. Fawn is where you kind of just do whatever the person wants because you don't like conflict. And there's another one too. Maybe someone can, freeze. Yeah, I think that's one of them though that I mentioned. I think they're the same thing. Anyway, yeah, freeze is one of them. So that's just their instinct where they don't feel safe. So in the moments of conflict, it is our job to help our partner feel safe. So we can do that by reassuring them, hey, I've got something hard to talk about. I want to let you know that like I love you and this is not like a breakup conversation or whatever if they're really anxious. And I just want to work through this with you. I actually used to totally freeze up when I had conflict with a partner. I would shut down to the point where like I couldn't talk. Like I would just go dark and like literally in a dark space. Like I would just be in a darkness and I could not speak. And my ex-partner, he was like, if you can't talk about things, this isn't going to work for me. And while that was like really harsh and not understanding or safe at all, it pushed me to really realize like shutting down is probably not helping me. So that kind of forced me to like when I was in that dark spot to start coming out of it. Like I had to force myself to start talking. I had to force myself. And now when I get in conflict, I don't react like that at all because conflict to me does not mean danger anymore. Conflict to me means problem solving. I have been able to reframe it and reprogram it in my mind so that my nervous system does not respond. Even if, and I had this too with an ex-partner, he would get so angry. Even if I reassured him, even if I was very calm, because I'm not an aggressive person. Unless I'm fighting for my life, like I don't need to get aggressive. Even if someone's yelling at me, like I'm just chilling, right? Like I'm just chilling and it wouldn't matter what I did. He would get so angry and then he would start tearing me down. That was his survival mechanism and it did not matter what happened. So some people have different survival mechanisms. And if we can create a space where that person is willing, and like I said, if that person is willing to change their response to conflict then we can stop having conflict be conflict and have it just be progress conversations, difference of opinions. And it's no longer fighting. It's just maybe disagreeing and talking it out, right? But if you have someone who's super resistant, they don't want to talk about anything, they don't want to do anything, that's going to take longer, and that might require a third party to help you out. How can I, as a woman, repair the damage I have done in the relationship? This is my person, and we were both in a cycle of hurting each other, and now we are finally working to be the best we can be. Can you give me some more details on that? Your pocket Tash? Like, how did you guys hurt each other, and how are you working on solving it right now? Go ahead and put that in the chat. I'm going to answer a different question while you're doing that. How does men's emotional safety always relate to the parent relationships while growing up? Why not the relationship issues? Who has the narcissistic tendencies? Okay, the reason why stuff like this always relates to childhood is because when we're born, human babies are like the most useless creatures on earth, right? Like, we rely on our caregivers to take care of us. We rely on it. So everything that they're able to provide for us, right? The way that they attune to our needs. So do they answer our cries? Do they feed us when we need it? Do they change us on time? Are they picking us up and holding us? We are creating a template. This is how the world works. This is how I give love. This is how I receive love, attention, validation, success, etc. We are witnessing how they take care of us. We are witnessing how they take care of themselves. We are witnessing how they take care of each other. How is love shown in the household? How is love shown to me? And because we rely so heavily on them to take care of us for survival, we need them to love us. So as children, we will do whatever it takes to make sure that their needs are also fulfilled. The child, if their needs are not being fulfilled, will become what the parent needs. So when they become what the parent needs, this creates a template that does not change because the brain is so efficient. It creates that template and says, oh, this is how we survive? Okay. And it will take that 5-year-old mentality, 2-year-old mentality, 11-year-old mentality, and bring it into adulthood. And since that's the template, it says, how do I receive love? Oh, I remember this from the recesses of my brain. I'll do it this way. And it finds similar patterns that are like the template. Okay? Because it's in your subconscious. So the way that we change this is we have to bring awareness to it. What are my relationships like right now? And how can I find the parallels? Right? Because even if your relationships were good as kids, like let's say you had like a good child, you think you had a good childhood, but you're with a narcissist. Something within you was being fulfilled by the attention that the narcissist was giving you. Because usually narcissists find someone to douse love on. Right? They douse you with love. They douse you with attention. If you didn't, maybe you had a good childhood, but you didn't get enough attention. Right? And it's not that we're blaming our childhood or blaming our parents. We're just noticing patterns. And we notice the patterns so we can rewrite the template. Because if you never look at the template and you never change anything, you're going to take that template with you wherever you go. And usually we only notice the template when something's going wrong. Right? So that's why it always usually relates to childhood, because that's where the template comes from. Okay, I'm going to look for more details on the question that the woman asked. Okay. In and out of relationship for over 6 years, and while being in the out stages, we both went to outward sources of validation. First him, then me, revealed wounds we were unaware of. Okay. Well, listen, like, a woman's going to have to do the same process that any man does for healing. The only person that you can heal in relationship is yourself. The more self-aware you become, the more in your divine feminine you become, the easier it is for your partner to heal, because they're not feeling the pressure to heal you, and they're not feeling the pressure on them for like that you have on them. Usually when we're in relationship, we put so much pressure on our partner to change because we're uncomfortable that they resist it and they never want to do it. When we do our own healing, we realize they're on their own journey. It's not our job to heal them, and it's not their job to heal for us. Can we love them exactly as they are right now? And what do I want to work on so that I can be the most divine person that I can be, and I don't need them to love me? Because that sounds like kind of what it's going on right now. It sounds a little bit like a trauma bond. Like trauma bonds are kind of like an addictive drug cycle where there's a lot of chaos and toxicity, and your nervous system is up here, and then the second it gets down to normal, you feel such a relief, it's like a rush of dopamine. So you kind of just keep fighting and fighting and fighting, because every time you don't fight, it's like, this is great. Like, we're so happy now just because we didn't have all that chaos. But you don't want to just go up, down, up, down. You want to be parallel and have like normal ups and downs and be there for each other. Okay? So, the best thing though that I can say for a woman, just because I'm a men's mental health coach, is to give more grace to your man, that he is going to be learning things that he never learned before that are going to be very obvious to you. Women are very intuitive. We're already emotive. We already understand things. He's going to be slower on that because the world does not encourage men to feel their emotions. So if you want more vulnerability from him, if you want more emotion from him, you have to create a safe space for him to be able to come to you, and not pressure him and not try to force him or not shame him for what he doesn't know. And that's a really big way that women drive away men, is they nag and pick at the littlest things, like not doing the dishes right, or, not taking out the trash. And it's just like so annoying to a man, because you treat him like a little kid and a son, and you feel like he's acting like a little kid and a son because he's not just doing things. So this is like the constant fight between the masculine and feminine. First of all, I think a man should be doing things on his own, or he's not in his divine masculine. But that says to me, if he's not in his divine masculine, you're not in your divine feminine. It always takes two to tango. Thank you for the explanation. Had heard and read about this and never had that explanation. We'll have to dig deeper. Thank you. Anybody who wants more information on this, don't forget I have a YouTube with longer videos. I have a free men's mental health masterclass that completely explains how to self-regulate, what goes on in the brain, this whole childhood template. You could click the link in my bio. It's a free masterclass. And any man who's in here who wants, thank you so much, Pat. Thank you so much. It's a headband. I feel very Russian. Any man who's in here who wants more in-depth guidance, one-on-one training, group coaching, a community of men who actually care about them, who support them, who want to dive deeper into their masculinity, their feminine energy, their mother-father wound, their sex life. We have a community. Click the link in my bio, the Better Man membership. It is $99 a month, or one payment of $9.97 right now. It's on early bird. Join it. It will change your entire life. We have over 20 modules in there already that you can already deep dive in. We have the community going. Men are discussing in there today our session with Monica where we did the inner child work. If you are someone who cannot afford $99 a month or cannot afford $1,000 a month, I have a one-time offer where you can get the first month for $10. If you want that, DM me first month. Okay? DM me first month, and I can give you the first month for $10. After that, it will renew at $99, just making you aware of this. So if you need to cancel, you can. However, I'm giving you this offer. DM me first month to get your first month for $9.99. You will not regret this. It will change your entire life. This is actually the way of the future, I think, for men's mental health, is being in a community and being warriors and being powerful and being better men. Better Man membership, guys, okay? So I answered a lot of questions. I hope you guys took notes on the 3 reasons why it's very important for men to create safety, and why men need to, be safe when it comes to women. And someone said, that's so crazy. Someone said you're just doing business, it's about the money. Okay, you go and do over 500 YouTube videos, and that's ridiculous. Anybody who says it's just about the money is so ridiculous. I could sell you my $25,000 one-on-one coaching if you wanted, but I'm not. $10? Are you kidding me? No. Get out of here with that. You can unfollow me for sure. If the thousands of videos I've created are not enough for you, that's fine. But anyway, I love you guys. I know that was just a one-off, guys. So crazy. I'm not being listen, I'm not being defensive. I'm annoyed, okay? Because I don't want to offend you. It's always the people who are not doing anything who say something. Let's call it out. It's always the people who are not doing anything that bring that up. If you can't afford $10 a month to be in a group of men and a new person every weekend, that's on you, okay? Like, this is free. You're not attending this for free right now? That's crazy. That's stuff that really makes so many creators upset. Okay, guys, we're doing this for free. I know I'm preaching to the choir right now, but wow. Anyway, I love you guys. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.